between trying to wrap things up at work, taking time off for the holidays, and then all of the things that come with the holidays, it was just way too much. All right, so I don't know about you, but I used to be so stressed during the holiday season. I used to feel like it was just this other thing that I had to add to my to-do list. And even though it was still very magical, and the reason why I was so busy and so stressed was because I wanted it to be super special and super amazing for everybody around me. I wanted to recreate the memories of my childhood. Somehow, even through all of this desire, I still was burning myself out around the holiday season. But over the last couple of years, I've tried out something new. I have created a simple organizational system for all of my holiday events, all of my holiday giving, and all of my holiday traditions that allow me to not only accomplish everything that I want to do, but also to actually be able to be present and bask in the magic of the holidays. As a life coach and burnout prevention specialist, I have seen and taught so many people how to create balance in their lives, and life during the holidays is no different. If you are a person who likes to be busy, who likes to get things done, who loves checking things off your to-do list, it doesn't matter what time of year it is. It doesn't matter how much you have on your plate. You're always going to find a way to be busy. But the problem isn't being busy. It's not making time for balance. It's not making time for yourself. It's overdoing it to the point where none of the things that you're doing feel fulfilling anymore. They just feel draining and like a chore. I don't know about you, but the holiday season for me is about tradition and memories and loved ones and just creating new memories and traditions with the people that you love. What it's not about is stress and chaos and burnout, but somehow we always seem to end up there, especially overachievers and people pleasers. We end up being the ones who miss out on the magic of the holidays just because we're trying to create it for everybody else. But little do we know, everybody else just wants us to be happy. Everyone else just wants us to like join in the fun and be present with them as well. So this year, we're doing things differently. We're going to approach the holidays with a plan, not just a plan, a very intentional plan that's going to allow us to get all of our shopping done. It's going to allow us to host the events. It's going to allow us to check the items off of our to-do list, but it's also going to allow us to be present. I'm going to give you a cozy and productive system, something that is going to let you plan your holidays with ease. So if that sounds interesting to you, I hope you'll stick around and let's get into it. There's a lot of pressure around the holidays, a lot of pressure to do more, the never-ending errands, the comparison, the keeping up with the Joneses, if you will, especially with social media these days. There's these new holiday traditions of Burr baskets and Christmas Eve boxes, and the truth of all of the things that you have to do during the holidays are just smoke and mirrors. None of it is real. The holidays are what you make of them. So whatever you are choosing to focus on now, whatever you're choosing to make your holidays, how intentional you are being about your holiday plans is what's going to make the memories that matter most. So the way that I keep my holidays joyful and stress-free is by breaking things down into 3 different categories: events, giving, and traditions. This helps me see the big picture, it helps me stay organized, and it helps me avoid that last minute scramble. When I can plan things ahead of time, I know what to expect going into the holidays, and I can make sure that that's going to fit into my schedule and it's actually going to be something that I desire to do. The last thing that I want is to plan out all of these extravagant things or have all of these events on my calendar and just be checking it off the to-do list like, yeah, I did that, but feeling so overwhelmed like, oh, I didn't get to really enjoy the one thing that I really wanted to do because I was too busy focused on all of these other things. So when you plan in advance, it can help you more easily decide whether you actually want to do all of that or if there's things that you can maybe pass up so that you can focus more on the things that actually matter to you. Okay, so the first category I want to get into is events. Holiday events are going to be things like family dinners, work parties, recitals, things like that that come up during the holiday season. But also, if you're like me and you have a child who has a birthday in the month of December, those can also be holiday events. It's not necessarily tied to the holidays, but it is within the holiday season, and it's something that you need to consider. So if it's something that's going to pop up around these other holiday events, and it is an event itself, or it is something that you need to plan for, please make sure to include that on your list so that you are not having this extra thing to think about outside of what you're planning for. So what I normally do is I start with a fresh page for the holidays in the new year. So I'm going to create a toggle list for events. And then within this, I'm going to start listing all of the events that I have for the season. I'm probably going to make this a database in Notion that will help me categorize things. It will help me add dates so that I can easily say going, not going. If it's something that I'm planning, then I can actually dive deeper into that. So the first thing that I'm going to do is just start listing out all of my events. Now I'm going to add a column for the date that these are all happening. Christmas Carol, this is something that we haven't necessarily scheduled yet, but it's like a tradition for us, and it's also an event. So I'm putting it under events because there will be like tickets that we have to buy. Christmas Carol we typically do on Christmas Eve, so I'm going to put that here. That may change. Holiday performance is 12/12. The market, I believe, starts this weekend, so we could probably go anytime. Maybe we'll go like on the 14th. That sounds good. Family party is on the 21st. I'm also going to Psychic Fair the 22nd. Caroling en Masse is on the 13th. And then Friendsmas, I think we could have maybe on the 14th. Or we could do it after Christmas. The 23rd as a tentative on that. So all of these are just rough dates. That way, if you don't have anything set in stone, but you kind of have an idea of when it is, you can start to fill in when it would work out best based on the information that you already have. So if you already know that a holiday performance is happening on December 12th, then you may not want to schedule a family party on December 12th. So you can start to pick and choose dates that are going to work best based on the things that you already have scheduled. And then you might find, okay, there's way too much going on during this one particular week. I don't think I'm going to have capacity for that. What can I start to eliminate off of this list? If you've heard me talk about project management before, you know that I love to delegate and eliminate things. I just want you to know that you don't have to do everything during the holidays. If you do something every single year, but it is stressing you out this year to have to do that, it's okay to not do it. It's okay to let it go, especially if you've shown up and done that thing every single year in the past. Either let somebody else do it this year, or let it be okay that you're not doing the thing during the holidays. Let it be okay that this one year you are not participating. If people get mad about that, that's on them. You got to let that people-pleasy stuff go, because during the holidays, yes, we are trying to make magic happen for the people that we love and create traditions and memories. But if you are stressed and overwhelmed while you're creating those memories, it's not going to be a good memory for anybody, including the other people. So if you're not going to be happy and fulfilled doing a particular event this season, just put it off the list. Say you can't go. All right, so once we have all of the holiday events and we've filled in the dates, the rough dates for each of them, we want to begin to categorize these. So we're going to add another column, and we're going to choose select. You could also do multi-select if you want to have multiple tags. And I'm going to label these as event, performance, and let's see, party attending, and then party hosting. I'm going to have those as separate categories: performance, event, party hosting, and this is an event also. Okay, once those are all categorized, then anything that you are hosting, you want to go through and start to map out the plan for that. So what I'm going to do is for this Friendsmas party, I'm going to open this page all the way up. You're going to want to plan out 4-ish different things. So number 1, you're going to want a timeline. 2, you're going to want a guest list. 3, you're going to want a menu. And then 4, you're going to want activities. And then you can go through each of these and essentially do exactly what you did with your events planner to begin with. And then you can plan your timeline, you can plan your guest list, you can plan your menu and the activities that you want to do. So I'm going to select all of these and turn these into toggle lists. And in my timeline, I'm going to create another database, Friendsmas. Whoops, timeline. Okay, so this is going to be like send invitations out, buy groceries, maybe finalize menu, finalize guest list. This is not in order right now, but just start brain dumping all of the things that you're going to have to do for this party. Then you can add in a date column here. And we'll say we want to send the invitations out probably by the 1st, because if the party is on December 23rd, that should give people plenty of time, but you could do this earlier if you have time. So then finalize the guest list. We probably want to do that definitely by the 30th. If we're sending out the invitations on the 1st, then let's finalize the guest list by the 30th. And you can also sort this. So if you click on the date, click sort ascending, that way it's in order. Buy groceries, that's going to be something fairly close to the party day, but I would say these are going to be pretty chaotic days to go grocery shopping. So maybe start buying groceries on the 20th or 21st. That way, if you have any last minute things, you could do it on the 22nd, but you at least have some time in there to get as much as you can before crazy holiday shoppers. I would probably do that on Friday during the day while people are still at work and stuff. All right, and then finalize menu. We're gonna need to do that earlier in December if we're going shopping here. Maybe we finalize the menu by the 13th. If we invite people on the 1st, let's give them until the 13th to RSVP. So final RSVPs due on Friday the 13th. What a good day. And then that way you can finalize your menu by the 14th, which will give you time to plan your grocery list and everything that you need to get by the 20th. Okay, so that's kind of how I would approach timeline. I would just kind of brain dump everything and then work backwards on the dates that I need to get everything done. Next, I'm going to go into my guest list. Then I can create my menu and any activities that I want to do. Your activities don't necessarily need to be a database like this. It could just be a list of activities that you want. But another really good idea for something like activities or menu items is to paste links into this. So if I found an activity I wanted to do, or maybe even just a good resource where I could find different activities, like this website here has a bunch of different holiday games, so charades, holiday Jenga, blind man's bluff. So I could just copy this and then paste it here, mention it, and then that way anytime I want to come back to the activities and really plan that out, I can just easily click in this link and then it will pull that up. That's going to make it really easy for you to reference back all in one place. And then the last thing for events is once you have planned out the parties that you're hosting, you've kind of gone through to see how much bandwidth you actually have or effort that you're going to have to put into some of these different things. I want you to add one more column to this holiday events, and we're going to call it attendance status. Going, not going, maybe going. And this is just a moment for you to give yourself radical permission to say no. It's not necessarily sending anyone a rejection or a sorry, I can't make it RSVP, but go through here and start saying, I'm definitely doing Christmas Carol, definitely going to this holiday performance. I may not make it to the market this year. And you know what? I really don't feel like going to the family party this year. How many? Raise your hand if that's you. Anyway, go through here and put the status that you would want it to be. Not necessarily setting anything in stone right this moment, but set it to the status that you would want it to be. And once you do that, I want you to just let that marinate for a little bit. As you come back to this, I want you to see, how am I feeling about these attendance statuses? Am I good to stick with this? Do I feel like I should switch something to not going? Do I feel like I should switch something to going? Do I have more capacity than I thought I would? But let yourself be honest on this spreadsheet first, and then you can let the host know based on how you truly feel. And then if there's moments of people pleasing, or like, I feel like I have to go because I don't want people to be mad at me, sit with that for a minute. Acknowledge that and decide whether you really want to do something based on someone else's feelings rather than your own. Are their feelings really more important than yours? All right. Moving on. The next category that we're going to get into is giving. This could be volunteering places. It could be doing some of those like Christmas angels that are on trees where you sponsor a family, or it could just be the gifts that you need to buy the other people in your life. You want to first create a list of all of the different people and organizations that you will be giving to, and then you want to give yourself a budget for each person and or organization. Whether you are shopping online or in person, having a budget is extremely beneficial during this time of year, because I don't know about you, but I get extremely excited when I get into a store, especially if I'm going in person. I start to see things and I'm just like, oh, this would be so cute. Oh, I love this so much. Oh, this person would like this. And the budget totally goes out the window, especially because you don't have a cart total showing on, the actual cart that you're pushing. You have no idea what all of this is adding up to. If you're shopping at Target, you're guaranteed to walk out of there with no less than $200 spent. Been there, done that. But having a clear list of all the people and organizations that you need to be considering and a budget for each is really going to help you stay focused when you are shopping. Okay, so the way that I would approach this is similar to how I would approach events. So I'm going to add a new line here. We are going to do a toggle list, and I'm going to call this giving. Now, within giving, I'm going to create a database. We'll call this Tony's Giving Tree. So I know I need to buy for Remy, my son. I need to buy for my mom, for my stepdad, for my husband. And then I also want to sponsor a family this year. So Giving Angels. All right, now I'm going to add a column, and we're going to do a number type. We're going to call this budget, and our number format is going to be dollar. And I like to change these icons sometimes, so I'm going to do a little gift just to make it more festive. Okay, so now I can say I'm going to spend 150 on Remy, 100 on my mom, 100 on my dad, 150 on my husband, and let's say 50 for the Giving Angels. Then I can come down here and calculate the sum of everything. And this is now my budget for the season. If you have more than $550 to spend for the season, then you know that you have more room to either give to other people, other organizations, or you can increase the amount that you have budgeted for each person. And then you can go through and add a status, and then we can do one for under the tree, need to buy, waiting for delivery. Whatever different statuses would be helpful for you to track, you can add those in there and then keep yourself on track as the holiday season goes through. It also helps you, if you're someone who is living paycheck to paycheck, it helps you know, all right, these are the things that I can buy during this part of the month. I need to wait on this paycheck to buy these items. You could also add a column for, let's add a date, like shopping date. Then you can add in dates of when you are able to buy those different things. That way you're not waiting last minute to buy everything. You know exactly when you're going to buy things, how much it's going to cost you. It's completely budgeted out. And you can also try and plan around holiday crowds. You can try and plan around when things are going to start selling out. The earlier you can get your shopping done, the better. That way you don't have to worry about it. Your bank account doesn't have to worry about it. And the people on the receiving end don't have to worry about getting something that they didn't ask for because it was sold out. I know, first world problems, but sometimes that can be really stressful. Let's just be real. I get it. These are all things that is like, okay, Tony, why are we even stressing about this anyway? I'm not having that conversation today. I agree. Why are we stressing about all of this stuff anyway? And we could talk about all of that if we wanted to, but that's not what this conversation is for, because that's not helpful to you. If you are the person who's like, no, I'm getting the gifts, no, I'm doing the holiday parties, no, I have all of these events, I have these traditions, what do I do to balance all of this out and to make this more enjoyable? That is what this video is about. I will have the other conversation another time. If you want me to have that conversation, we can get into that. But I will not be going into capitalism and all of its glory today. The last category is traditions, and this is the one that makes the magic of the holidays. What do you love about the holidays? Is it baking cookies, watching your favorite movie, going caroling? Plan all of that out. That way you don't miss out on those most important moments that you love about the holidays. It's not about eliminating the spontaneity and the magic of Christmas. It's about making space so that those things can actually happen and that you can actually truly enjoy those moments. The events are amazing, and maybe the events include some of your holiday traditions, but honestly, the gifts, the hustle and bustle of events or different things that you're going to is nothing compared to the peace and the real magic that you feel when it's Christmas Eve. Everybody is cuddled up on the couch in their either matching Christmas pajamas or their cozy onesies. You've got a cup of hot chocolate and the Polar Express train is blaring through the speakers. Oh, it's so good. That is one of my favorite Christmas traditions. So it's the small moments like that that really make the holidays what they are. That's why I want you to put the most emphasis on your traditions to make sure that you're able to integrate everything else that you have to do with the traditions. You don't want to plan your traditions around everything you have to do. Traditions are meant to be done. Now, if it's a tradition you fucking hate, let it go. You don't have to do it just because it's been a tradition. If you don't like it, if no one enjoys it, then let go of the tradition and create a new one, or don't create one at all. It doesn't matter. The point is, if you have traditions that bring you fulfillment during the holidays, prioritize those above all. So we're going to do traditions the same exact way. We're going to add a toggle list. We're going to call it traditions. We're going to add a database, holiday traditions 2024. Polar Express. It's one of mine. Elf on the Shelf, also one of mine. And by the way, if you do Elf on the Shelf and you haven't seen my Elf on the Shelf video yet, please go find that as soon as you're done watching this video. Actually, I'll link it below. I have an entire planned 24-day Elf on the Shelf template where it's super easy, burnout proof Elf on the Shelf ideas. It's for the busy professional, it's for the busy mom, it's for the person who does not have 40 billion hours to not only plan out the Elf on the Shelf days, but also they don't have time to do it every single morning or every single night because they're exhausted, and who has time for all that shit. So they're super simple, they're funny, they're going to get your kids engaged, but they're so easy and they don't require a lot of materials. Everything can be found around your house for the most part. So go check that video out if you haven't already. Okay, back to our list. You'll list out all of your different holiday traditions. Cutting down Christmas tree. We'll just add those for now. Then you can add a date field. Polar Express happens on December 24th. Elf on the Shelf happens the 1st. And then I can add an end date too. So if you have like a tradition that spans spans across multiple days. You can do an end date, and so it ends on the 24th. And then cutting down the Christmas tree, we normally do that like the day after Thanksgiving, so we'll do that on the 29th. All right, so now what I can do is open each of these up. I've got dates for just about everything. Look at the dates for each of these different sections and see if anything overlaps. So I know that I'm going to see the Christmas Carol on the 24th, and I'm also going to watch the Polar Express that night. These things don't overlap because we do the Christmas Carol earlier in the day, and then we do the Polar Express right before bed at nighttime. So these things aren't going to overlap, and that will not stress me out to have both of those things done. I can also see that cutting down the Christmas tree is overlapping with buying Remy's gift. That's okay with me because I can do cutting down the Christmas tree at any point in time that day with my family whenever they are ready to do that. And then I can do my shopping around that. I know that that's okay with me. I have, shopping that I'm going to do for my mom and my stepdad on the 13th, but then later that night, I've got caroling. So is that okay with me? Am I going to be tired by the time I'm done shopping and not want to do caroling? I don't know. That's a decision I need to make. So what you want to do is just go through all of these different things. Once you have eliminated the things that you don't want to do anymore and you have decided on the actual dates that you will be doing everything, then add all of those decided dates to your calendar and then forget about it. Like, let it go. You've got a plan. It's solid. If anything else comes up in the meantime, if you get invited to something else, if you decide that there's somebody you want to give to, then you have all of this information available to you about what is already occurring and whether you can fit that in to everything that you've already planned out, or if there's anything you need to take off. You get the gist. All right, you guys. So that is my 3-step system. I hope that is helpful for you. If you want the template to be able to plan this all on your own because you don't want to create it yourself in Notion, please hit the link below and you can get my free holiday planning template. By planning ahead and actually looking at everything that you have going on, brain dumping everything that you want to do, you save so much time and energy, and it just alleviates your mental load of juggling so many ideas and desires that you have for the holiday season. This way you can actually focus on what you love about the holidays, and then you can leave the rest. It's not about doing everything. It's about being able to be present when it matters most. So if you're ready to change the way we do the holidays to feel more cozy and less chaotic, more intentional and less stressful, grab that free template at the link below. I promise you will not regret setting up your holidays in this way. It has been so beneficial for me, and I will absolutely never do it any other way. As always, thank you so much for being here. It truly means the world to me. If you are new and you haven't already subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so that you can stick along for the sleigh ride with us. Okay, that was really kind of stupid, but whatever. We're in the holiday spirit. The point is, we would love to have you here. If you enjoyed this video, I hope that you will hit the like button so that I know to make more videos like this. And if you want to get notified every single time I post, hit the bell icon. That way YouTube will do its thing and let you know. So here's to less chaos and more cozy this holiday season. Let me know what your favorite tradition is for the holidays, and don't forget to grab your template below. I hope you have an amazing week ahead, and until next time, take care.